Yeah, hello there, YouTube, fellow silver stackers, silver pourers, silver enthusiasts. AG Ender back with you again, and going to do some pouring today. I got two of these 10-ounce bars to melt down and get into a little bit more manageable shape and size. Got a new dish here to prep and get ready as well. So we'll do that first, get the prep work out of the way. I did a little bit already. Also going to try propane today, see how it works out of these torches, and if it works just as well as the map cast, then I'll switch and save a few bucks here and there. But for the time being, this is what I've got going on. So I will be right back with you once I get this dish ready to go and some of these silver in a little more manageable shapes and sizes. I will be right back. Well, here's the first 10 ounces melted down. So we'll get the next 10 melted down and then we're ready to pour. I did have somebody request a couple of Zelda shields, so we'll do those first and then knock out some of these new ones. Got the wooden guitar with a little bit rounder guitar that we have to do, as well as the regular guitar in a mold. Same size, same shape, but actually this one's just a touch smaller, it looks like. And of course this guitar that I've been doing in wood, this design. And I think that's it. We'll see. Maybe do another crab coin, maybe do another moon man, but we'll see what the day has in store. So I'll be back after I melt down that next 10 ounces and start pouring a couple of Zelda shields. Oh, there it is. The last time it's going to be in that shape. Fire up the torches and get that down to a manageable size. So, see you in a few minutes. Well, here's the second 10 ounces melted down. So, we'll get to pouring actual shapes here in a moment. Get, like I said, a couple of those Zelda shields done and go from there. So I will be right back with the first pour. Okay, here we go for the first Zelda shield. Ready to go. Got a little bubble up there on this one, but I think it will be okay. So I'll come back for the next one and see how they both look. Okay, all set for the second Zelda pour here. A little bit of stuff on top I'm trying to get off real quick, but it's not really wanting to cooperate. So we'll go ahead and pour and see how it looks. That ought to be okay. So get those cleaned up and show you how they look. Do another pour in between and of course do the wrap up at the end. So maybe you won't see those just quite yet, but eventually. So I will come right back. So I'm going to start out with this rounder guitar here for the first new mold pour. See how it turns out. Make sure I try and get that neck nice and hot and the head of it hot, because that's a pretty thin spot for the silver to flow through when I pour it. So I don't know how tricky this one's going to be to pour. But I'm starting out with 2 ounces. We'll see where it ends up. It's a little bit shallower than a couple of the other molds that were 2 ounces. So we'll see. It may work out just right, and I may have to add some. So I will come back for the pour. Okay, attempt number 1. Let's see how it goes. Well, not quite as planned. Got close, but it doesn't want to flow down into the neck. So we'll have to see what to do about that. I think we might try the wooden one here. And here written on there hickory, so we'll see how hickory wood works. But I will be right back for that pour and see how this one turns out. Okay, here we go. New guitar pour in wood, number 1. Of course, like the previous wood pours, this will take a few to get a little bit of the design burned out on that back side. So this won't be the first pour, but it'll kind of get me situated for how much weight it's going to take in the way of silver. I'm guessing 3 to 4 ounces, but we shall see. Here we go. Now, go ahead and let that burn for a bit. Probably move this propane tank out of the way for now. Like I said, definitely let that burn down a little while. It didn't quite take all of that, which was somewhere around 2.5 ounces, give or take. So that's the first pour. The second one, guessing 2.5 to 3 on the second pour. So we will come back for that when this is ready to go. It's starting to calm down a little bit there. We'll see how deep this one burns out when it gets to the design on the bottom side. And move you over a little bit. Show you how this looks from above. Some of that silver is actually just a touch still liquid there where the flames are. So, there you go. Almost burned out. So, I'll come back for the next one. We'll see how that one looks on the back side. So, I just want to show you here real quick while that's heating up. That mold cracked when it came out. So, I think we're done with this one. It got a little bit too deep there, so we'll have to try the other one if we're going to pour the guitar anymore. But that's the one I think will be even trickier because it's got kind of that tiered guitar to it. So we'll have to give this one a shot again here later on today maybe, depending on where we end up with the rest of this. So I will be right back for this next wood pour. Ready for the next pour? I do believe this will take a third pour. This didn't burn out too far, too deep on that first pour. And it's pretty small lines, so we're going to have to do this at least one more time with the harder wood. So here we go. I did add a little bit on this pour. And I think I'm kind of glad this isn't the final pour because it did have a little bubble there right in the middle. So we will come on back for the next pour. All right, here we go. Not burning too much there, a little bit. So we'll come back when it's done, show you what it looks like. Well, here's how this one turned out. Move you over here a little bit, maybe get some focus. Back side looks pretty good. Like I said, it's got some smaller lines being a harder wood. But I think once I get it cleaned up, it's going to look just fine. A little more spider web kind of look to it with the finer lines. And this side, once it cleans up, there are some nice tight pour lines. We'll see if I can keep them and not polish them out. So, there's that. And of course, there's the mold. It's done. It kind of curled up there. And then dumped it in the water. So that was definitely the last pour. But we will come back with another pour and get everything cleaned up and show you how it looks. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a moon land here. Silver looks like it's ready to go. And bubbled up there in the middle a little bit. Don't know how I like that or not. So maybe I'll re-pour it, maybe I won't. I'll get it cooled off and take a look and see what I decide. Well, didn't come out too bad. Try and get some focus here. It's a little, there we go. A little bit bright. There's the Moon Man. Nice lines here on the back. Nice little cratering right in the middle, which I don't think is too bad. So we'll go ahead and leave that as is. So figure out another pour, probably do one of those Archangel shields and go from there. So I will be right back. Okay, here we go with one of the shield pours, kind of the Archangel shield. Silver's nice and liquid. Here we go. Maybe a little more than this mold's actually made for. It did kind of come up quite a bit there. See, it'll pop out. Yep. Try it off just a touch. And there we go. As I said, it's a little extra. I might melt this back down and try and get rid of this little lip here and here. There's a little bit too much silver in there. And the back didn't quite come out as planned. So I'll melt that down, pour a little bit less into it, and come back and show you how it looks. Here we go with the next pour. Like I said, I'm going to short pour this just a little bit. Try and get some of this excess borax off the top. Got one of those carbon graphite sticks. And here we go. Well, might have to do this a little bit differently. Having the extra torch on it to try and keep the lines a little better is pushing the silver around, and it's not completely filling the mold. So we have to pour this. Crap, if I didn't just destroy the mold one more time. So I'll be back. Hopefully I didn't destroy the mold. Mold looks okay, so we're going to pour one more, but I'm going to turn this torch off this time. And hopefully that keeps from having the issue with the mold not filling as planned. Well, here we go. Well, I think that'll be okay. Well, yeah, at least this side's okay. I'll let that sit for a bit. Let it cool off a little bit more, and come on back, show you how everything looks. A few little silver droplets sitting here on the pan and on the fire brick. So I think that'll do it for today's pouring. So we'll get things cleaned up and do a wrap up. So I will see you in a bit for that. Okay, so here's what we ended up with for the night. Got number 19 and number 20, the Zelda shields. These two are sold. And I think I'm going to call it there at 20 on these, since interest kind of died down a little bit. So we're going to cap that one off. There's a 1.78, 1.63 ounces. Now, the first Moon Man, I don't remember if that was one. No, you know what? It was a crab coin. Here's the first Moon Man I did at 2.46 the other day, that lunchtime, I believe lunchtime pour. It might have been last weekend. Actually, no, it was this. The crab coin was a lunchtime pour. And it ended up at 2.48 ounces. Nice lines there on the back. Nice pool there on the one side. And we got the second Moon Man, the one I did today. He came out to 2.56 ounces. Again, nice, almost perfectly symmetric lines on this one. Looks good though, and a little cratering there in the middle. Then The Archangel shield turned out well as well. Kind of a step down look there on those lines. 2.02 ounces on this one. And then the wood mold guitar in the hickory wood. A little bit tighter lines on this. The grooves from the burned out wood. Almost like a spider web kind of look there. That one came out to 2.96 ounces. And of course I've got these other two I did last weekend. Dragon skull. Tough to see here in video, but you can see a whole lot more detail. The wings, the head, tail kind of wrapped around through the skull. It's tough to see here on video, but it's a whole lot easier to see up close. And of course the first shield here the other day, 1.77 ounces. I do have another about 8.5 ounces to go. I'll figure out what I want to do over the weekend. But for now, that will do it. Anything here anybody likes that they would like for themselves, let me know. The support is always appreciated. Likes, shares, comments, subscriptions. I will see you all next time. A.G. Enders signing off. Have a good night.